From a small tribe in Anatolia to a world-spanning superpower, how did the Ottoman Empire rise to dominate for over 6 centuries? This isn't just a story of battles and conquests. It's a tale of vision, innovation, and an unyielding will to build something legendary. Our journey starts not in a grand palace, but with a dream. The late 13th century. Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, was a patchwork of small Turkish principalities, the remnants of the Seljuk Sultanate. Among them was a charismatic leader named Osman Gazi, or Osman I. Legend tells us Osman had a dream of a great tree growing from his chest, its branches shading the entire world. He interpreted this as a divine sign that his descendants would rule a vast empire. Whether a prophetic dream or a brilliant piece of political storytelling, this vision became the founding myth of the Ottoman state. Osman was more than a dreamer. He was a pragmatist and a unifier. He and his warriors, known as Ghazis, were driven by a powerful ideology to expand the frontiers of the Islamic world. But Osman's genius lay in his ability to attract followers from all walks of life. He welcomed everyone, from rival Turkish tribes to Byzantine defectors and wandering scholars, creating a dynamic, multicultural, and meritocratic society. This wasn't just conquest for conquest's sake. Osman established a stable administration, fair laws, and a sense of shared purpose that laid the groundwork for a state that would outlast all its rivals. His son, Orhan, continued this work, capturing the major Byzantine city of Bursa and making it the first Ottoman capital. The seeds of the empire were sown. For the next century and a half, the Ottomans steadily expanded. They crossed into Europe, establishing a foothold in the Balkans. They developed a fearsome and disciplined army, most famously the Janissaries, an elite infantry corps of slave soldiers raised from a young age to be loyal only to the Sultan. This military machine seemed unstoppable, swallowing up territory in both Europe and Anatolia. But one prize remained tantalizingly out of reach, a symbol of ultimate power and prestige, the city of Constantinople. For 1,000 years, Constantinople had been the heart of the Byzantine Empire, the jewel of Christendom. Its legendary walls had repelled countless sieges. To the Ottomans, it was the red apple, the ultimate target. Several sultans had tried and failed to take it. But in 1451, a new sultan ascended the throne. He was young, ambitious, and utterly obsessed with a single goal. His name was Mehmed II. Mehmed was a true Renaissance man, a brilliant strategist, an engineer, a linguist who spoke multiple languages, and a patron of the arts. But above all, he was a man of iron will. From the moment he became sultan at just 19 years old, he poured all his energy into preparing for the siege of Constantinople. He knew that brute force alone wouldn't breach its defenses. He needed innovation. His masterstroke was the construction of the Romelian fortress on the European side of the Bosphorus Strait, directly opposite a fortress built by his ancestors. This gave him complete control of the sea lane, cutting off the city from any potential naval aid. Then came the cannons. Mehmed commissioned a Hungarian engineer named Orban to build the largest cannons the world had ever seen. These behemoths, known as the Great Turkish Bombards, could fire massive stone balls over a mile, designed to pulverize the supposedly impregnable walls of Theodosius. In April 1453, the siege began. For 53 days, the city was relentlessly bombarded. The defenders, vastly outnumbered, fought with incredible courage under the command of the last Byzantine emperor, Constantine XI. But Mehmed's ingenuity was relentless. In one of the most audacious moves in military history, when the Byzantine defenders blocked the Golden Horn waterway with a massive chain, Mehmed didn't try to break it. He went around it. He ordered his men to build a greased log road over a hill and physically drag his ships overland, dropping them into the harbor behind the chain. The psychological blow to the defenders was immense. Finally, on May 29, 1453, after a massive final assault, the Janissaries breached the walls. The city fell. Mehmed II rode into Constantinople, not as a destroyer, but as a conqueror with a vision. He immediately declared it the new capital of his empire, renaming it Istanbul. He protected its citizens, guaranteed religious freedom, and began a massive rebuilding program, transforming the decaying Byzantine capital into the magnificent center of a new Islamic empire. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves across the world. It marked the end of the Middle Ages and the true birth of the Ottoman Empire as a global superpower. Mehmed, forever known as the Conqueror, had achieved the impossible. With Istanbul as its new heart, the Ottoman Empire entered a period of unprecedented growth and prosperity. But it was under the reign of the 10th Sultan, Suleiman I, that the empire reached its zenith. Ascending the throne in 1520, Suleiman was known in the West as the Magnificent and to his own people as the Lawgiver. His 46-year reign is considered the golden age of the Ottoman Empire. Suleiman was a military genius, personally leading his armies on 13 major campaigns. In Europe, his forces marched deep into the heart of the continent. He conquered Belgrade, crushed the Hungarian army at the Battle of Mohacs in 1526, and laid siege to Vienna itself, striking fear into all of European Christendom. While Vienna held, Ottoman control over Hungary and the Balkans was firmly established. His ambitions weren't limited to land. Under the command of the legendary Admiral Barbarossa Hayreddin Pasha, the Ottoman navy dominated the Mediterranean Sea. They captured Rhodes from the Knights of St. John and waged a naval war against the combined fleets of Spain and Venice, turning the Mediterranean into what many called an Ottoman lake. The empire's reach extended from the gates of Vienna to the Persian Gulf, and from the deserts of North Africa to the shores of the Indian Ocean. It was a true world empire, controlling vital trade routes and a staggering diversity of peoples and cultures. But Suleiman's legacy extends far beyond the battlefield. As the lawgiver, he oversaw a complete overhaul of the empire's legal system, creating a comprehensive code of laws that would last for centuries. This ensured justice and stability across his vast and diverse realm. He was also a tremendous patron of the arts and architecture. He commissioned the brilliant architect Mimar Sinan to adorn Istanbul and other cities with magnificent mosques, bridges, and public buildings. The Suleimani Mosque, which still dominates the Istanbul skyline today, is considered Sinan's masterpiece and a symbol of the empire's power and elegance. Under Suleiman, Istanbul became a global center of commerce, culture, and science, rivaling any city in the world. So what was the secret to the Ottoman Empire's incredible longevity? It wasn't just military might. It was a unique combination of innovative systems that allowed it to effectively govern a vast, multi-ethnic, and multi-religious population for over 600 years. One key pillar was its administrative structure, particularly the devshirme system. This was the practice of levying young Christian boys from the Balkan provinces. They were brought to Istanbul, converted to Islam, and given the finest education possible. Based on their talents, they would either join the elite Janissary Corps or enter the palace administration. This system created a class of administrators and soldiers who were fiercely loyal to the Sultan alone, not to any family, tribe, or region. It was a radical form of meritocracy that ensured the most capable individuals, regardless of their origin, rose to the top. Another crucial aspect was the millet system. In an age of intense religious persecution elsewhere, the Ottoman Empire organized its non-Muslim subjects, like Orthodox Christians and Jews, into self-governing communities, or millets. Each millet was allowed to use its own language, practice its own religion, and run its own schools and legal courts for civil matters. This granted a remarkable degree of religious and cultural autonomy, reducing conflict and allowing the diverse peoples of the empire to coexist peacefully under Ottoman rule. Culturally, the Ottomans were brilliant synthesizers. They absorbed and blended traditions from the Persian, Byzantine, Arab, and Turkish cultures they encountered. This fusion created a unique and vibrant Ottoman identity, visible in their art, music, literature, and cuisine. From intricate Iznik tilework to the poetry of the Diwan, Ottoman culture was a rich tapestry woven from many different threads. From Osman's dream to Suleiman's golden age, the rise of the Ottoman Empire is a story of how vision, military innovation, and sophisticated governance created one of the most powerful and enduring empires in history. Its legacy is etched into the architecture of Istanbul, the cultures of the Balkans and the Middle East, and the very course of world history. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey through the rise of a superpower. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next historical adventure. Let us know in the comments which empire you'd like us to explore next. Thanks for watching.